what's the deal? Patio family, what's going on? You already know what it is. It's your boy, The Value, that allows you the opportunity to roll with me, King Mac Millie. Yes, indeed. You see the crown, you see the money, all that. Yeah. Shout outs to everybody on the West Coast, right here where we at. Shout outs to everybody on the East Coast, down South, up North, and in between the scene in the Midwest. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, all that, man. We got a packed show for you here today. We got a guest in the building that I'm just excited to get to know a little bit more. I know about him and some things, you know what I'm saying? But man, it's about to be interesting. It's about to be real good. As a matter of fact, it's about to be incredible. You know, it's just incredible is what this episode is going to be. So after we get to this theme, we're going to get right to it. Y'all stay tuned.
We hope you stay a while, 'cause it's Ryda for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. 'Cause it's Ryda for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like, yeah. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. I said it's Ryda for life. Come in with the shows that you like. We trying to be the best on the mic. DJ playing cuts that you like, yeah. It could be the start of your day, or maybe just the end of your night. But if you rock it with us, Patio PolitiCz is gonna do you right. Oh, 'cause it's Ryda for life. Trying to be part of your life, yeah. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. 'Cause it's Ryda for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. We hope you stay a while.
Yeah. I hope you stay a while, because if you don't, shame on you. Shame on you. That's just what it is from here on out when it comes to me. If you don't stay here for the patio, shame on you. But if you are here right now, that means you are here for the rest of the show. And I am here to let you know that the guest that we have on today's episode, not only is he can I say former police officer?
No, I still am.
Okay, so still police officer in the building, actor, you know what I'm saying? Just a genius. A man just, when I look at his face, it just gives me great vibes because it just changes in a moment's time and a moment's notice. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Justin Jones is in the building.
What's going on, man?
What's happening,
What's
good
going
sir?
on?
How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I can never complain, man. Especially when you can wake up with an inhale and an exhale. It's always good.
Man, I feel that. I could definitely complain, though. You want to know what I want to complain about?
Go ahead.
And it's perfect because I'm looking at your sweater or your polo, and I'm looking at the color on your mic, and it's really giving me vibes that I ain't really liking. But can we just, on this moment right here, right now, denounce your fanship for the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, listen, nah. I've been in it for a minute, man. I've been there since it was ugly colors and all the
Still
nonsense
ugly
before.
colors.
It still is. I'm not gonna lie. Don't play with me
I'll
like
take that.
It hurts. Anyways, either way, I've been there before the Super Bowl, so I was never a bandwagoner. I still go there, and I'm a rider for life.
Yeah,
let's
see
go.
what you did there.
Yeah, see?
I'll rock with that just for a little bit. But let's see if you could guess who my team is.
Okay, I'm gonna go straight. If you're LA, I'm gonna go Raiders. No,
I wouldn't dare.
So 49ers.
Fuck. Listen, do you want to be my friend
Rams?
today?
Rams?
Yes.
Okay, I should have went to Rams first.
Yes,
I don't know
first.
why. I don't. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I jumped to the wrong team.
You're a
first.
Seahawks fan. That's why.
That's probably.
You jumped to the wrong team first.
Yes.
You had it right.
But I'm still gonna. I'm gonna stick with my team. That's it.
It's
You know?
suffering.
No,
suffering.
it's okay. You know, I still got a good credit score. We're good.
Still waking up in the middle of the night like, they should have passed. They should have headed off the ball.
Headed off the ball to Marshawn Lynch. Nah, see, we're always in every highlight reel, but that's okay. At least we're getting our time to shine. So I'll deal with it.
Season coming up. What y'all gonna do this year?
Listen, this year I feel like, you know, with the new coach, you got McDonald, who's going to, I think, for me, is going to bring some kind of difference to the team that's needed. I can say it's going to be a rough one, but at the same time, I'm going to put out a little guess right now. I'm going to say 8-8, maybe a wild card.
You
maybe
believe in your team, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm pretty accurate. I mean, I should be.
Yeah.
You know, I'm probably one of the only fans on the West Coast.
Okay.
At least down here in California, that is. So
Yeah, y'all ceiling is third place in the division, and that might not get y'all a playoff spot.
listen,
As a matter of fact, it definitely won't get y'all a playoff spot.
Listen, all I'm saying is this: we still have a chance. There's always possibilities and injuries that can happen to other teams. Anyways, I have to use all of my resources in that moment to just wish and cross fingers and toes and all that.
Got you. You gonna be in the building for any of them games?
Yeah. I'm probably gonna go through a few. Maybe get some box seats. Who sees? We'll see what happens in the Rams stadium. I did it once already. And checked it out. We lost when I went, so maybe I shouldn't go.
Nah, go this time.
Nah,
maybe we should go together.
I mean, yeah, we could, but I'm letting you know right now, I might just sit in the parking lot.
That's fine with it. That's fine. That's fine.
So
I take L's on the chin too, though.
Yeah.
So,
I took one because I took my kid. So I took my kid to the game. So my kid's extremely into sports. So he's like, yeah, let's go to the game. I said, cool. I took him to his first football game, and as we're sitting there watching the game, he was like, hey. I don't know if my team's gonna win today, and I'm like, no, have confidence. You never know. You gotta instill that in yourself.
Nah, but when you know, like you should know.
Nah. In that situation, I knew once we only scored 16 points, I knew it was over, and it was like the third quarter, and I was like, nah, you got
field goals.
You got Puka, you got. You still got a good few resources. Stafford happened to show up that day. He'd been injured the whole season, and goes, I'll show up because Justin's here. So I'm going to go ahead and just knock this out and make me feel bad on the way home and not want to argue with my kid. I mean, listen, it was a good game. So other than that, all good, all love. Yeah. You know, good to the Rams.
I enjoy when y'all come to town. It's always good energy. Now,
yeah.
You could always be worse. You could be a 49er fan, but
I mean, that's true. Very, very true. I'm definitely I want to go to the new stadium, Levi Stadium, but
it's so gorgeous.
Yeah,
so
I have to.
It's trash. But it's a gorgeous trash can.
It's a gorgeous trash can.
Yeah.
You know, it's one with the lid that comes up when you put your foot on the pad.
Yeah.
One of those.
Smell just like it.
And still stank.
Look good though.
Yeah, it does.
All right, Justin. So here on the patio, we like to ask a series of 3 questions. Call it a trifecta. You know what I'm saying? Just to open your brain up a little bit if it's not already open, which I believe it is. Mm-hmm. But we'd like to know what is your passion, what is your pleasure, and what is your purpose in life in any order.
Okay, so like my passion more than anything is. I think everybody has a purpose in life, right? So I think how I live through the arts, right? Yeah, I'm in law enforcement. You know, it's not the easiest thing to be a part of. We haven't been the greatest. Let's be honest here. And I've always wanted to make a difference, not just for my brothers and sisters, but for people that are coming up in life. And I feel my passion in life is to instill and to encourage and to enlighten everyone that is taking the time to just work on themselves. Now, my thing is like, I'm very big on really understanding like, not life isn't for granted, right? Mm-hmm. None in life is for granted. So going through and getting everybody on the same page, even with a badge or no badge, that respect across the board is paramount. Yeah. And I think that's what I passionately try to instill through my artwork, through how I carry myself, and just living through that positivity. I think I forgot the other 2 you asked me.
So it's your passion, your purpose, and your pleasures.
Okay, my purpose, I think my purpose in life, what I believe my purpose in life is to express or have a great sense of expression to heal. Because I feel people in this day and time right now need healing. People could say, well, maybe not. No, I'm good where I'm at. Most of the time when people say that, they need the healing more than anything. Mm-hmm. And I just want to provide that through my artwork. My passion really is acting. I've always loved and enjoyed it because I'm able to live in somebody else's shoes. Maybe even for that 10 to 15 seconds on screen, just to get people to not think about bills, stress, issues, problems, and not about my profession either. And go, man, like he's a normal person.
Where's
like
that?
Everyone else.
Where's that rooted from? Like,
I
just
think that's
feeling that way.
well,
Having that empathy.
So I'm a Christian. So my thing is I think it all started from the foundation of going to church, being around my grandmother. My grandmother is a Southern Belle. She's from Georgia.
Okay.
And the typical, hey baby, hey sugar. So that's
going around that ranch.
That's literally where it all instilled from. I used to spend every summer with her, and she runs an assisted living home. So she would help with people who had schizophrenia, bipolar, even some vets as well. And I've instilled it there where it was like just little things, like where my grandmother used to park super far, and I would be like, "Wow, Grandma, we got parking spaces in the front near the."
Right. That's for them.
And she would go, "No," she goes, "You woke up today, didn't you?" "Yes, ma'am." "You able to walk today?" "Yes, ma'am." Were you able to I don't know, move your feet a little bit?" "Yes, ma'am." "Other people woke up today and couldn't use their feet. Other people possibly got into an accident where they couldn't use their legs. So why are we complaining?"
Yeah.
So it started super early.
Ingredients of appreciation.
Appreciation 110%. So it started there. But my passion is also, like, I think I've always wanted to be an actor. Like, that's been my jam. But also through my acting, I've also wanted to show through people that I've looked up to, like Chadwick Boseman, Tom Hardy. And I mean, the list goes on. Denzel, of course, is automatically on the list.
Yeah.
But my thing is to be able to look on screen and be like, and motivate my brothers and sisters while we are on this set together to go, man, go 110%, period. We're blessed I'm blessed to be in this moment right now.
Yeah.
On the patio.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed to even get invitations like Ryda for Life Filmz. Like, they believed in me way back,
because you've been around for a while. Yeah.
And they didn't have to come back and talk to me. They didn't have to come back and extend their hand. But my thing is I don't take it. I think it really comes from being grateful is the foundation.
Yeah.
Is being extremely appreciative and grateful. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have those things, I feel like you lose your purpose.
Definitely.
And you also can lose yourself in the process.
Quickly.
Because you get lost in translation.
Quickly.
So that's where I'm at. So
pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure for me is I think I think my pleasure is to get. I mean, when I get the response of things that I do, my pleasure is just like I feel really enriched when I could see someone super happy, or if I could see someone super moved. Even people like that have seen me and they go, "I don't really like the character you played. That was weird, or that was that's kind of dark."
It made me feel.
But it made me feel like, even for me, like my pleasure is to get your emotions to move.
Yeah.
Because we're all so stoic.
Yeah.
Everybody becomes like this so much because we're so under a microscope already of being judged.
The pressures.
Yeah. And it's like, who cares about that, right? But it's easier said than done. I could sit there and be like, "Oh, let it go. Don't give opinions."
Really, it's easier done than said.
Facts.
Once you understand it.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot stronger of a position for sure.
Yeah.
And I agree with you 110%. I think that's just for me. That's just where I get my pleasure from, and that's just being able to instill in people, seeing their emotions move, and pass it along to where. Hey, my kid's happy. My kid's doing things great. He goes to his friend. He does the same thing, gives them that same kind of energy and positivity, and it continues and it flows because the world nowadays is so pressured on, and let's be honest, what gender are we, right? What orientation are we, and what is what? Yeah. When honestly, it's like, I'm happy for you. No judgment.
Feel. It's okay to feel.
Yeah.
Feel some feelings. Be
Yeah.
lovely. Smile.
Exactly. You use your teeth.
Yeah.
Use your teeth.
Your teeth. Don't matter if you got all of them or not. Just use them
use
things,
your teeth. Use your teeth. Just be happy because you were able to wake up today.
Got a lot of robots out here, and you said it, going through life, living, going through all the situations and everything, you tend to forget about the simple things.
Yeah.
until
sure.
you just don't have that simple thing anymore for however long a lot of the time that it may be.
For sure.
And hopefully through that you just gain just that humility and just that gratefulness for that small thing, because
bingo.
just as simple as walking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We take that for granted.
For sure. And I'm guilty. I'm taking a lot of things for granted, like my Seahawks sometimes. But overall, in all seriousness, like taking things for granted is so simple and so addicting that we find ourselves getting lost in translation, where it's like a tornado and we spiral out of control. And it's something, God checks us right back. Wow, hey,
back.
Well, my leg doesn't work the same anymore, or I get up and I grunt. And if you understand that pain, it's because you're getting older. And that's okay. You're blessed to be older. But that kind of thing is just, you go, man, I don't move the same.
Yeah.
So it's like that. We always forget things change.
I go through 6 stories of grunting when I get up in the morning. It's just,
yeah.
Because I'm so tall, it's just like standing up all the way. It's just like, God, let's start the day.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
All day.
Patio Politics, we got J Square, Justin Jones in the building. You know how it goes around here. We're going to hit these commercials real quick, and we're going to be right back.
A culmination of powerful properties that create balance and produce good energy. Cultivating a culture of mindfulness is a daily battle. We target your inner me. Physiological effects, change you can truly feel. Aesthetically pleasing on the surface, but handmade to help you heal.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
I like that drop so much, man. I love that drop. I love that drop so much. I'll be telling Five, like, let me re-record that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to charge. You save some money. But if you want to spend the money, you can pay me. You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz. Like, I can do it.
You can pull it. You can pull it. I mean, I feel like...
And that was light, and I was on it.
But here's the thing. If you were a Seahawks fan, that would have worked immediately. I'm sorry, man. You opened the book, man. That's what happens.
Are you happy I gave you that?
That's the chicken. I don't know what that was.
That's what you guys are, sea chickens.
Hey, you know what? Okay, all right.
Get it plugged. Yeah, I can't wait until this season, man. We definitely got to go to a game together.
Yeah,
I love my stadium. My stadium is better than any stadium that you've ever seen in your life.
Dude, it is a beautiful stadium. I have to say
it is gorgeous inside and out.
So we went. At first, I had the nosebleed, so I was like, it's cool. I feel like the higher up you get, the less teeth they have.
Yeah, I ain't been up that high, so
I was up there, and then I said, "No, I'm gonna aim for the middle."
Yeah,
so we aimed for the middle, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this works. This is a little bit more reasonable. If I go too low, it then turns into like almost like a high school game."
It depends on what you're going to see.
That's
Positioning
true.
is very important, depending on the event. Like people, if anybody's going with me, they be like, "Hit Mac up, let him get the tickets."
Yeah,
because he's always thinking like, "I want to be at this angle, this level, right here. I'm gonna see this." It's a lot of intricacies that go into it, but you wouldn't really know all that being a Seahawks fan. But
my eyes still work.
Yeah,
it's all right.
It's all good.
I got health coverage.
It's all good. Speaking of your eye, man. Speaking of your eye, I just love your energy, right?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, take these off. I know you can see into my soul, but we can fit to look a little bit deeper. As I'm looking at you, you're a man that does a lot of many different facial expressions.
Yeah.
At like a moment's notice, like it's seamless. Like you go through different faces. Like where did that come from?
I was always instilled, I guess, more motivated by Jim Carrey.
Okay.
I've always admired. He's very underrated, by the way. Very underrated as an actor and as a talent. And I think from watching his, he had an old stand-up that he did, and I don't want to say it was like early '90s. And he was standing up and he did an impersonation of Clint Eastwood. And his face had shifted, and literally to the point where he brought it down to where he looked identical to Clint Eastwood. And I took the moment and I thought, man, you know what? There's so many muscles in your face, but on top of that, I've always been very animated. So for me, my specialty was more in the sense of emotions in the face. So it's like when you cry, you know what a cry looks like. You know what an ugly cry is. If I
Yeah.
say ugly cry, you know what that is.
I don't know if I can really do that though, but
Oh, you can.
I can try.
Oh, you can.
It ain't gonna be that
Especially
ugly.
when the score is gonna be up for Seattle and then we take you out of the playoffs. You're gonna have that same look. But
I'll be stoic.
Yeah, real just
These motherfuckers.
yeah. But other than that, like it's just having that. Like I always been someone who's been very animated, and I've respected that talent, and it just was something I fell into, where I just really was like, I think it's just pretty cool. Like I think this is something that could definitely change, and it's words that speak without having to be spoken. Where I, for instance, when I. And could I talk about it? I don't know. Could talk about what we just recently did.
Yeah.
So,
We good.
So when I had kind of went into development of Psycho, of Psycho Sid, my deal was the sense of like more of an imbalance. And with being imbalanced, a lot of us, if you notice anybody who has like any kind of trauma or issues that they're battling, their face kind of, it almost like the brain bleeds out what is happening. So like, for instance, I had created a whole story behind my
Certainly
character.
did.
And my character itself was a vet, and his counterpart was McCain. And he was extremely protective of McCain. And he has the dog tags and everything, to where even on his dog tags, one of his best friends happened to pass, and his emotions were shot. He lost his emotions through military, through training, and at the same time, like it kind of like his emotions kind of reset.
Yeah.
So in a lot of the different scenes that we were doing, he was resetting. And all it was he'd check back in with himself and get back into soldier mode, almost like a default mode.
Yeah, it's scary reset.
Reprogram.
It's almost like Joker-esque in a way.
And the thing is everybody motivates, and I tried my best just to really develop him more in the sense of my definition of what Joker would be. And more realistic and not so based on other examples, but my example.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to impersonate Heath Ledger. It's easy to impersonate Jared Leto. You know what I mean? You could jump on those things, and it's so like, it's duplicated.
Yeah, and the most difficult part is taking something that's already done and making it yours.
Yeah, and that was something I really was like, anything that I've done in the sense of Ryda for Life Filmz, I've went 110%. Sat down and was like, I'm doing it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to develop and make the backbone strong, because it has to live through the shoes that I move in, even down to the detail. A lot of stuff that I wore was based on what I researched on what he should be wearing.
Yeah.
And how he dressed and how he walked. And yeah, he chuckled, he laughed, but it was more like in his mind, he's trying to laugh off all the pain. Kind of like how some people deal with pain.
Yeah.
He deals with pain when he gets hit or shot or anything like that. He laughs it off.
Yeah.
Where he's like, no big deal.
Yeah. No
My
problem.
arm just fell off.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like,
I'm just scorching blood here.
So yeah, so it's just like it's the harsh reality of how he copes with pain. And that's where his energy kind of plays in between the lines.
Yeah. Counsel to you guys. That's all I'm gonna say. Check it out. One of my secretly one of my favorite characters. Seriously, just because
Thanks,
of that aspect alone.
Yeah,
it's just like yeah.
Well, it's funny.
It makes me a sicko almost.
Well, it's funny because I think everybody has that in them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They kind of be like,
does.
oh man, I've always wanted to play someone who was over the top, wild and crazy, and not be judged for it.
Yeah.
When the camera's cut off, you're like, all right, cool, I'm done, I'm good. You know, and I'm not like I also look up to like Daniel Day-Lewis, and he kind of the same thing with like Last of the Mohicans and a lot of stuff he's done. It's similar, like he lives on set where this guy actually has a trailer. He goes there, he stays, and he goes, I'm him. You know, and that's cool. You know what I mean? But you got to separate reality sometimes.
Sometimes
you got to know yourself.
Some people get in that role and they don't get out of it until shooting is done.
Well, here's the thing. I had to shift because of what I do for a living.
Yeah.
And I had to shift in multiple different ways where I was like, I can't dive into too deep and I dove in deep on set a lot, dude. I was like, That's wild.
Yeah.
And I'd have a moment. And it's funny because there's a scene and I'm not going to like give it away.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where I felt it and it just, my emotions dropped and I dropped with my facial expression. So if I took, you guys see like the before picture and after picture where it does this, where it's like before.
Yeah.
It's like
and it's slowly going down.
Happy smile. So when it went down, so it was like it's like a shutdown reset. So that's why his face shifted when it was like from here, like,
fucking machine. Just mechanical reset.
Yeah, and it's just a reset. And I had everybody on set was like, oh my God. And I was like, of course, I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep him engaged.
Yeah.
And doing that, like more and more we did it, it was becoming more like,
this is real.
This is real.
And it's moments like that on set where I get lost into it because that's my thing. Not saying that I'm anybody. You feel me?
You're somebody.
On that type, but you feel me? But I'm somebody. But like when I'm on set, I look for certain things that capture me. And I'm like, oh, you got me. You got me. Because like you show up on set, and if I'm calling you by your regular name, you ain't got me yet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
sure.
I call you by your character name. All right,
it's a compliment.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's just seeing you in the act behind the camera as these things are transitioning, and then watching everybody else's reaction just to see if they catching the same vibes and the same feelings. It's incredible. It really is incredible. You're a talented being. And speaking of that, because you said something very interesting about mixing the police work with the acting work. So before we separate the two, because that's what we're going to do, how do you deal with transitioning back and forth?
I think that humanizes me. Honestly, being able to transition between both because it brings me and grounds me again. Kind of humbleizes like I'm not a robot. I'm not the T-1000. I'm not any of that. We're still human at the end of the day. I think a lot of people in law enforcement or a lot of people outside assume we're robotic. Yeah. And for me, that was that keeps my emotions engaged. Was the arts. It keeps me kind of like my juices going to where it's more that truth of emotion where it's okay to cry. It's okay to be in that moment of anger and in that moment of frustration and accepting that and not really going, well, I got to be this way because this is exactly what we are. No, we're human. What are we talking about? So it's just, I think it just really helps me to engage in the sense of shifting. It's just a channel. It's just kind of like you channel your one way. So it's two different channels. You know where to gauge at work. Like if you're going to do something else, you know exactly how you have to.
I know how to shift gears. Like
you go, I got to shift here. If I'm gonna do this, I got to shift to this. So to me, it really is more healing and it's more releasing and therapeutic to be like, okay, cool. It grounds me more to like the foundation than it is more like living on a certain weird cloud of an iRobot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that is a cloud to live on. I love that movie, by the way.
Yeah. Great movie.
Will Smith is amazing, but
yes.
Very. Yeah, it's getting good, it's getting deep, it's getting spicy, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get into this law enforcement talk after this commercial breaks, because I got a lot of questions.
Hey, go ahead.
A lot of questions.
All good.
Justin Jones, we'll be right back on the Patio PolitiCz.
Right, man. Yeah, buddy.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
One of these days, I'm going to have to do like you, because I'm going to be like, My arm just fell off.
Yeah,
From
hey.
shaking this bell the way that I do. I'll be
Hey,
giving it.
hey, just make sure you take care of your arthritis. If you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
arthritis,
yeah.
take some medicine for that. That's
Maybe I find entertainment in dropping stuff. So maybe I
Yeah.
don't want to tend to my arthritis.
Man, maybe.
Maybe I just want to surprise people with it that I got arthritis. Y'all want some tea for sure? And I come walking out. They're like,
See,
hey, Mackie, you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to make you tea. And
Yep, and then just let it happen.
Yeah.
Let them live on the edge for a little bit.
see everybody's reaction like, what the fuck? I'm sorry, guys. I got arthritis. I really wanted to tell y'all, but
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can't play hide and go seek with arthritis. I know that
nah,
for sure.
not at
I've
all.
tried with nieces and nephews,
Yeah.
and let me tell you, popping and locking without wanting to pop and lock is crazy.
it don't
crazy.
stop. It don't stop. You hear
Nope.
that? Cat.
Listen.
Cat.
Listen, I was gonna say something, but I can't say it.
You can say whatever you
no
want to
Diddy.
say. You say what? All Diddy.
all Diddy.
Hey, I play. I play. I'm him.
You said
I'm him. I
pop
play.
lock it, and I was gonna say take that, but
Yeah,
now that
take that,
phrase,
take that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that phrase now is different definition.
It's
That's
all
a
fun
wild
and
one.
games, everybody. It's all
fun.
fun and games.
All fun.
Law enforcement.
Yeah.
Law enforcement. What interested you? What got you started down that path?
Well, the main reason why I started, I had my fiance's brother was like, hey, I think this would be good for you, because we were kind of having a conversation just in general about like how I saw the world and how I wanted to help and what I wanted to do in life. And he was like, I think this fits more along what you want to do. And I was like, I don't know. I'll look into it.
So you force as well?
Yeah, he's in the force as well. And I said, I'll look into it. You know, I don't know. I mean, I got to make that decision for myself. So at like the age of 27, I was like, all right, cool. Let's rock it. So I go through the whole process and I get asked, well, why do you want to be in law enforcement? And the first thing that came to mind was I wanted to help people that couldn't help themselves. And that's really more for the voices that can't speak, for the people and the victims that don't have enough strength to speak for themselves, to defend themselves. That's why I joined. It wasn't because of the nice, cool toys, the cool label.
Yeah.
It was more for a stronger purpose.
The
being
actual
able-
protect and serve.
to protect and serve, and be able to extend my hand, even when, even on both sides, man, even on the law enforcement side, wanting to be a good enough example to be like, you know what, man, like this is how we should lead.
Yeah.
Regardless, and we are human at the end of the day. Let's be honest. But that's what drove me was being able to help the victims that couldn't help themselves.
So you gave it a little bit more thought, and then it took you where?
It took me, in the sense of going from there. I went out and I went to work in the jails, and then I went out to patrol. And by doing all that, I was able to kind of see more in the spectrum of what we're all kind of dealing with, the front line, in other words. And it's funny because when I would go out, people didn't think I was a cop. People were like, yeah, you don't even.
I don't
fit you."
understand how. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can look at you, and if I didn't know you, I'd be like, narc.
Yeah, of course. And that's I'm telling you right now, if anybody try to get me in trouble, I'm telling. I'm being honest, I'm telling. Like, I'm so big on freedom, I'm telling. And I encourage everybody else. Like, everybody got mad, like, and I'm kind of going on a tangent real quick, but everybody gets mad at people who rat, right?
Yeah,
But
don't
that's-
snitch.
But here's the thing. It's a street code. It's
Yeah.
a street code.
Yeah,
It's a respect
definitely.
street code. And I get it, man. I get it. But it's when your freedom gets taken and you over here like serving a moment of time of taking your freedom away for someone else because they don't want to speak up for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, that's a problem.
And you've been in the jails.
Yes, I've been in the jails. And again, it's just having to establish a more of a good, respectful like rapport to where it's like, I know, like, I'd rather them be home than in here.
Yeah.
Because they're kids, they're sons, they're fathers, and it's like I want to try to encourage it and really try to correct any of those things that, or encourage more. Right? Correct sounds kind of aggressive, but more encourage.
Okay.
Like, hey man, like, you are worth something. You know, we have father figures, and a lot of people in the percentage of like 60 to 70% of men have an issue when their father isn't involved.
Yeah.
Or a father figure
Yeah.
that actually is a strong percentage, where it's like a lot of them go down this path of just like, man, what happened?
Yeah.
And a lot of them lose their passion too, because sometimes they get forced into gang life.
Yeah.
Some of them get instilled and pushed into something they don't want to do.
They don't get a chance.
And
or
they
an
don't get a
opportunity.
chance to really, and a lot of people don't have those opportunities, which is so difficult.
Yeah.
Just like some of the programs when people get released. It's like, they need those programs to help them stay afloat.
Get back adjusted into society.
And you can't expect them not to mess up if you are not really providing them with a strong startup.
It's always that mental mind frame of you'll be back.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It drives me nuts, man. Like when I first started, I had that feeling of like, you'll be back. I'll see you in 3 days. And it was like, I'll see you in 72 hours.
Oh,
but I shifted.
Yeah.
Because I was so motivated by everyone else that would fall into that energy. And then it was like, nah, that's not what it is. It's more no resources. Where's the resources at? And they should have those resources because they're human just like we are.
Yeah.
And I have no right, and I tell them, same thing, I have no right to judge you. It's between you, God, and the judge. Mm-hmm. Those are your three.
Whatever happens.
Yeah, and again, I don't know what they did. I don't know what their cases are. I just go, you know what? I pray that everything works out for you. Mm-hmm. And I tell them this, and I have people crying to me and being like, dude, like, you're one of the best, coolest deps ever or coolest officers ever. And I'm like, yo, like, chill. Like I just am giving you respect that's deserved.
Yeah.
And maybe you didn't get that in your life.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't get a father figure that was like, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Because that does.
It does a lot.
Anybody.
It does a lot.
Go, I'm proud of you. Even when you get mad at somebody, it's the worst thing you could do is, I'm very disappointed in you. Mm-hmm. Like that
hurts worse than anything else.
Yeah, it does. It's
especially
it's
coming from that proper person. It's just
you're like, I'm very disappointed in you. It's not
make you drop your head.
You're better than that. You're better than that. Mm-hmm. So I think for me, it's with the sense of like law enforcement is I just try to more encourage the corrections on their behalf on being better and being a better father figure, better role model. And give back in their definition and way, because my definition could be different from yours as well as anybody.
Yeah.
So I think I tried to more instill courage and confidence to where like, dude, it was a stop, but maybe God said, slow down for a second. Mm-hmm. Stop. Take a breather. I'm giving you a restart. Yeah, what happened is what happened, but I forgive you.
Yeah.
If you ask for forgiveness, I shall forgive you. And keep things progressing forward.
Got you. Rapid. Let's see how fast we go here. Worst police scenario you've ever been a part of?
Anything involving someone with their intentions to want to be with a minor issue. Because again, people come from all over, right? So when you're from another country,
their rules are a little different.
Yeah, they're a little different because they don't really have certain regulations that we do here.
Yeah.
Kids having issues with their parents, like, man, that pulls my heartstrings. When you see a kid getting trapped in a room, and this is actually a true case. Can't say names though.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
A kid was entrapped in a room, and grandmother thought it was a good idea to double bolt the doors. So kid calls and said, hey, I need your help. So I get the call, cool, boom, I'm on my way. I get there, grandma's playing games. Mom was even playing games. Both intoxicated, both under the influence of something. I get there, kids like, man, I don't know what to do. I need help. I'm in the room and I can't get out. I've been trying to get out. I haven't eaten, so on and so forth. So it's automatically, I'm like, I'm about to get in this house.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody has to say. I'm about to knock these doors down and we could solve the rest later. Fast forward, the kid ends up coming out and he's emotional. He comes over and hugs me. Wow. And I'm like, I don't cry, especially on Tuesdays.
Let me go.
So I said, don't do that to me. You're gonna ruin my makeup.
Yeah.
So as I'm sitting there, we're talking and the kid goes, I want to say thank you for just helping me because nobody was listening. And I said, well, it's my pleasure to have that thought of being able to pull myself back and refrain myself from doing anything
extra.
Irrational. Or something that could be prevented. Yeah. So anything involving kids, like, man, like that's like a trigger, or even for like domestic violence. Like females that are just like, they're lost in what they're in and they don't even see it.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, you just got your arm broke.
Yeah.
And you got bite marks, which is a true
and you
true
still
story.
Thinking about cooking this
and you want to be
dinner.
back with this person.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, you get beat up in front of a liquor store in broad daylight.
Yeah.
is a problem.
Yeah.
Putting hands on a female is
It's a problem. But now we got the extras on top of it.
Yeah, so you don't even care.
Yeah.
So it's just those situations, man, the toxianas, the toxianos. You know what I mean?
Toxianos.
It's just a lot of people who are not really respecting other people's spaces when it involves kids. I'll even go towards, even if it's same gender relationships.
Yeah.
It's just, I just feel that it just gets me. You know what I mean? Those are the cases that really get me.
Got you. Best scenario you've ever been in as a police officer?
Oh, okay. So a guy took off on me because it was a report that went out that this guy had stole things and had beat someone and put him in his trunk in this like ravine. And I'm like, that sounds kind of fetchy. But a lot of people call in stuff over exaggerated because their emotions are driving. Right. So your mind goes into this subconscious of like, this is what it is. Well, I go down there and I'm going down there next to like a beehive and all this other stuff. So you would have thought for sure I would have got stung, but I never did. While I stood next to this thing. So I checked the car, nothing in the car, no people, right? Walking around, I'm looking, and I see this dude just beeline it. And I'm like, there it is. Here it is. So then I
Was he naked?
No, he wasn't, thank goodness, but he was real greasy, real sweaty. So as I'm running, I had broke through different, my training officer at the time was like, hey, I'll be back here. I took off, got up to him, and as soon as I went to go get him, he slipped and broke his neck. Now, here's the thing. Now, a lot of people freak out. And again, I had that's a traumatic moment.
How did he fall?
So it's loose ground. Ravines are loose ground. It's like a riverbed.
Okay.
It's like a riverbed, but it just hasn't had water in a while.
Gotcha.
So it's loose ground. So when he stepped on the rock, it slipped. His neck snapped, and I think it was more fractured. And it wasn't, once it did, he was still breathing, but then he started to lose his oxygen.
Yeah, so he was upright with a broken neck.
Yeah, he was laying down and his body was away from me, and I was like, please, Jesus, do not hit me with this David move where you slingshot rock to the forehead. Please don't. So when I go up to him, I eventually kind of like I'm talking to him, but I hear him kind of like gasping. So I was like, great. Went over to him and I noticed and I said, let me put him on his back. Yeah. And chest compressions. And I did it for 17 to 18 minutes straight. It was nonstop. And it was in the summer. And it was about like 101.
Jesus.
And so it didn't matter. I was so focused and I saved him. Yeah. And I'm saving his life. And even when it was all said and done, my training officer was like, great job, you did good. He could have, if he would have, I would have been okay with it. And I was like, no. That's somebody's son. Yeah. That's somebody's boyfriend, maybe future husband.
Yeah. Somebody cares about this individual.
He's just, and again, we've all been guilty of it. Sometimes we crack jokes about it. And that was something I don't like joking about.
In that moment.
Yeah. And in general, I just go, look, dude, that's what the problem is in a lot of ways of law enforcement is that we get so numb to just that world where you're just kind of like that world of like, I have no issues, you do. And that's what it is. And it's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. I guarantee it's not. So when I saved him, and I ended up running across him later, and he goes, I don't remember you, but I've heard about you. Yeah. And I was like, well, hey. And then piggybacking on that, fentanyl's a real thing. Yeah. Fentanyl's a real thing. It's killing a lot of people. I had someone that had an overdose, and I had to give them it's called Narcan. So what it is, they put it in the nose and it helps to separate the actual connectors to when they get high off of the fentanyl. That's what kills people. It suffocates them. Mm-hmm. It's really what it does. It suffocates you. But you get that high feeling. So you're like, oh man, this is great. Well, girl goes out. I end up getting all that taken care of while I'm dispatching everything from where I'm at. Chest compressions, everything, save her life. And then I save another person's life in almost the same situation. That happens. Save that person's life. Then I did it again. I did it 3 times, and I think in a matter of like 3 months. Yeah. So I have saved lives. Thank goodness I've had the thought pattern to do it at the stressful time that it was. Yeah. But I feel like, I think those, for me, in the sense of law enforcement, like that's our purpose. Our purpose is to preserve life, right, and provide safety and security for your community. And that's what it is. And that's just what it is. And I think a lot of people forget, and even officers included, including myself, we have to have reminders. And I think that's a strong reminder when someone goes down and you're the one that has to make that response or you have to react. It checks you.
Yeah.
It kind of puts you back into perspective.
Definitely. Interesting. Incredible. I had no idea. You know?
No, I don't go out and be like, "Hey man, I want to tell you stories because I want to make myself feel better."
Yeah.
Feel like I want you to hug me and then say, "Hey, I applaud you because you're a hero." It's more of a response.
Yeah, and it's like you like I said, you've been around for a while, and like prior to today, I didn't even know you were a former police. I keep saying former. I didn't even know that you are a police officer.
Yeah, I've been doing.
You're not on call right now, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
And if I was, I wouldn't be here.
Okay.
But my thing is, like I said, I pray that my artistry kicks in or something where I could eventually go out and give more motivation.
Yeah.
In more of a motivational speaking kind of way. So I
And
think that's something I want for sure.
It will.
And acting wise, definitely want to make that something too. Just to show that, if you put your mind to something, right? The typical thing, put your mind to something that works, but really following through.
You speaking them out loud, you know what I'm saying? They come to fruition, especially here in this sanctuary, you know what I'm saying? Put it out there and
for sure.
It's received and give it back to you exactly how you need it. You know?
I would love that. I would love to hit an Academy Award sometimes. I may not hang out with nobody in that room. I'll hang out with the Riders for Life though. We'll hang out. But some of the people over there, they let them stay over there. I love what you do, but stay over there.
On a personal tip, we just gonna.
I love you from afar.
Yeah. You got it going on a little bit,
a little bit,
for
sure.
Tell you what we got going on is a dope ass episode with Justin Jones right here, now. But what we about to do is pay some bills before we get back. No, we ain't paying no bills. You know what I'm saying? We ain't saying.
I'm paying bills.
I mean, we paying.
I'm paying some bills.
Some type of bill has got to be paid. So we gonna go ahead and take care of that. We gonna be right back on the patio. Yes, sir. Back up in it. Justin, man, it's been a great conversation.
For sure.
Like I said, a lot of things unexpected, but I knew that walking into here. I always know that. It's just I'm always ready to learn something new.
For sure.
It'll be awesome. Amazing dude. Incredible, shall I say. I'm going to just keep going back to incredible since that's the topic of today's show.
That's cool.
Something that's incredible, though, is your longevity when it comes to Ryda for Life. You know what I'm saying? You've been around, I want to say, almost since the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As we're about to dive into the acting things, let's just dive right into it. You know what I'm saying? Sploosh splash into the pool.
Why not? Let me get my floaties on.
Yeah. Acting. How did it get started?
So it got started when I was 19. So true story. I had sat and I prayed about it, and I was living in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I need some kind of sign, God. I need something. I don't know. Like I get moved when I'm in class, and I was going to Sacramento State. So I go in there, and my teacher was Mrs. Rice. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm doing the monologues, and she goes, it was beginners acting, and she grabs my paper because I go up there and I did a monologue, and she goes, come here. And I said, uh-oh, I'm already in trouble. It's my first day. This is crazy. She goes, nah, there's something about you that's not, this is too easy. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, that's not fair. Like, I wanna do like knitting and stuff. Let me have a break. let me catch on and transition right. Yeah. She goes, no, read this. And so I read it, and I was able to do it. And then she goes, you ever thought about? And I was like, what do you mean? You ever thought about it? Thought about what? What are we talking about? He goes, you ever thought about going to Hollywood? And I said, I don't know, man. Like I don't really like I don't know. She goes, that's the point. Like, that's good. Like, you're a human. That's okay. Because you know who you remind me of? Because I did, after that, I had done a few plays, or not plays, but I did a few monologues. Yeah. She goes, you remind me of a good friend of mine. I was like, who's your good friend? Tom Hanks. And she goes, I didn't know this. I was just like, okay, God, okay, I hear you. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I get it. Let me breathe for a second. And then she goes, yeah, you should really think and look into it because he did. He stayed here for a few years, but he was meant for that the whole time.
Yeah.
So I think you need to look into it. So I said, sure. So I come down. Before I left, I was like, man, I need a sign. I still was having doubts. Everybody has that
wasn't
doubt.
enough?
I said, no, hold up. But here's the thing. On my defense, though, I always need like a secondary confirmation.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that.
Reassurance.
It's like,
because,
then you got the clearance. Let me get one more.
And so I did. So then there was a big five. Okay. Big Five decides to have a sale. And I said, all right, cool. This is going to relate. Watch this.
I'm trying to catch. I'm like, Big Five.
So there was a watch in there that I saw, and I was like, man, I love this watch. I wonder how much it cost. It was $99, right? It was $99.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay. And I'm still praying, God, give me a sign, give me something. I end up going back in there, like I think a week later, and it was dropped down to $19.99. And I was like, hello.
Let me get to it then.
Can I get about one more of them? And he goes, no. We only have the one. It was a satellite watch to where if I could turn TVs off and on anywhere. So I could literally go in the room and go, oh man, hey, you know how I was with like
so much fun.
Hey, at the end of a game?
Yeah.
It was the best. Like they hated me. At the end of the game, I was like, hey, boo, what happened?
Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm like
it's
this.
time to leave.
Hey, everybody be good. And my sister caught on. She was like, because I was living with her at the time. She goes, give me your watch. And I was like, yeah, why though? And then but anyways, back to the watch. I said, well, you know what, God, I need this, man. I'll move to grandma, but I don't really know what to do. Like I'm kind of stuck. I don't know if I really want to go. Well, the company itself, when I get the watch, he hands me the case, and in the case it says Star Trail. Now people kind of go, well, what do you mean? Like I was like, and it was Star Trail, and I thought of it Hollywood in the sense of you being an actor and being a star. Your trail is
Starts
what
here.
you leave behind, and also where you're moving. You're moving forward. You know what I mean? You're getting to that start of that star position. So I was like, okay, all right, and then I flip it over, and my grandmother lives in Santa Ana. So I flip it over, and the company was from Santa Ana.
Yeah.
And I was like,
All right,
man, I'm going.
You only asked for one,
going.
but you got like a smorgasbord. Like here.
I said, I'm going. So then I get in the car and I leave. First day, I get into a junior college, Santiago College. Once I'm sitting there, the teacher comes up and she goes, hey, because we did our monologues again for I did an advanced class. Again, I don't know why I did it. Maybe I was being an overachiever. I don't know. But she goes, here, I want you to read this. And I did. And then she goes, I want you to read for this, though. And it was for Huckleberry Finn. Now, I didn't know until she gave it to me. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to go in 110%.
Yeah.
So I started to talk. I was talking like slave named Jim, which I ended up playing him at Santa Ana. And I was like, yes, boss. I do it for you too, but you just got to tell me. That's what it is. I ain't really going to say you, boss, but I'll do it for you. And she just goes, bingo, gives a phone call. I'll never forget my grandmother's downstairs. She had a landline still where if you lift it up, someone else lifted up, y'all both talking at the same time. It was the original walkie-talkies. Yeah. So I'm like, grandma's like, hey, baby, listen here, sugar. You gonna take this role, you hear me? You hear me? Because they're calling for you. God doesn't make mistakes, you understand me?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, ma'am. Now, after you're done with that, get your tired ass down here and get these chores done. So I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Balance.
Yep. And then I talk to and I got a role for Slave Named Jim. So I'm like, Jesus. So then I was on the newspaper. I was on the front newspaper for not just the college, but actually in Santa Ana. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, this don't make no sense. Like, I was really like, I don't know none of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I was doing this, I was also doing the hustle. So I was working at night, graveyard shift from like 8 to 8. And I was also doing rehearsals and not filming, but like doing the play.
Yeah.
So I was doing double dipping and going to school. So I was like, I don't know how I'm doing it, man. It's got to be youth. It's got to be youthful energy.
The energy.
So and I respected it back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was like, I was good with all my vitamins and everything. I was counting all my ducks in a row. Well, I get done with the play, and I'll never forget it. I had the teacher was like, she just kind of threw something at me that kind of motivated me. It was a reverse psychology kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laying there. I'm dead tired. I've slept in my car. I was sleeping in my car to go to class, and I came in one day, and she goes, everybody has to do an assignment, and they need to write about one of the actors in the play.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, sure, no big deal. So I don't, she goes, but people that are in the play don't write anything because it doesn't make sense for you to write about someone in the play, she said.
Yeah.
So I said, cool. So then I'm laying there, and she goes, I want everybody to tell me who they wrote about and why. So I'm laying there. Someone had said, I wrote Justin's character because to me, he was the most
intriguing
and the most interesting. Like, it made sense what he was doing, even with slapping the neck of flies and everything. I was doing that up there, like, because it's in the South.
Yeah.
And what's in the South?
Hot
every bug
humidity.
you can think of and every bit of humidity to where it makes you feel like everybody has asthma.
Yeah.
And it's just like, because the air is so thick.
Yeah.
You know? So as that happens,
the air you can see.
man, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's why, like, so I'm sitting in and one of the person was like, oh, I wrote for him. And she was like, I wouldn't have wrote for him. And I said, what? She goes, I wouldn't have wrote for him. I don't think he was the best actor at all. And I sat there and I broke down. I was emotional, boy. I was like ugly crying. And I was like, and I put my head down, and a guy next to me that doesn't really speak in class and everybody liked and they wanted to do scenes with, he goes, ma'am, can I say something? And everybody's like, oh my God. Because he looked like he was a part of a boy band. I'm being real. He had frost tips, and he always had like wristbands for no reason. You know what I mean? Like,
Didn't play no basketball, didn't play tennis.
The thick watch, you know, the thick watch with the little silver palette. You know what I mean? So he's sitting there, and he looks at me, and he goes, I can't take this. And I said, okay. I don't know what that means.
Did I do good or did I do bad?
My makeup's getting all smeared. And when I mean makeup, I wasn't really wearing makeup, but I was crying my eyes out.
Balling.
And so because I was tired and I devoted myself, I was doing my own makeup. I was sleeping in my car. Typical story.
Yeah,
right?
I put in everything for you to tell me that.
Yeah, and so he goes, no, I wrote for him because he actually was the best actor you had on set or on the stage. Mm-hmm. And I didn't put him up to this at all.
Yeah.
So she goes, well, I disagree with you. And then other students were like,
Nah,
I agree with him.
Yeah.
I agree with him because it's totally obvious.
What was her disagreement?
Her disagreement was mainly she was more focused on the main actor, who was a female who played Huckleberry. And so she was, no. She looked it. Trust me. She was,
okay.
She looked the part before the part. That makes sense?
Okay, yeah.
So she definitely played basketball and burped on her free time. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. I'm being honest. Like, I'm not judging. Like, some people she probably is someone that's like that.
Yeah.
So she's cool people.
She was perfect.
But she was perfect for the part.
Yeah.
And so I did it. And so it was packed houses. And when I left, people would line up to take pictures with me. And I was like, hey, dude, you could do this too. You know? And the kids were like, no, can I? And kids were crying when I was like, I gotta leave. I gotta go. Like, I gotta go to work. I literally would go from there with a full beard, run to work, and then start my shift.
Yeah.
So they were like, where are you going? I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work. So that being said, it all started back when. I mean, my drama teacher, Miss Pope, started with her. She was very big. She's like, you're not gonna have a problem in this class. I could totally tell. So now going to recent, I went to Playhouse West with Jeff Goldblum's Playhouse West in North Hollywood. So when I started there, again, I was sleeping in my car. And I was just trying to figure it out. And so I was doing that, working graveyard, doing all the things, hardly any sleep. Going there, do scenes, all the other stuff. Then I go, fast forward, then that, I just kind of took a hiatus and was like, I just need to kind of refocus a little bit. Then I went back and I went to James Franco's acting school, Studio 4, which no longer exists for its reasons, by the way.
Franco.
So I did that, and I was getting applauded, and it was interesting. I had an actor that was on Godfather 2. His last name is Aguimiamo. I want to say Cameron Aguimiamo. Either way, he was such an inspiration at the school. I did a one-man show, which nobody knew this. This is my first time telling y'all. So I did a one-man show, and I was the only one, and I wrote the whole thing. So my character was Gary Shaw. And with him, I had inmate clothing. I bought the inmate clothing. I had shackles. had the whole nine yards. So he was a sociopath. But his total flip was he wanted to punish the victims, or he wanted to take the victims out of their misery instead of taking the suspects and being like, it's hell on earth. Took the statement of hell on earth and was like, let them stay here. You need to live
elsewhere.
in paradise, not in this pain. I'm going to make it quick. So played that person, and I was the only one, and I scared people. Didn't mean to, but I was fully engulfed. And was like, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to do 110%. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it correctly. So then it just drove. But my thing is, it's always been that's my passion. That's my main dream is to be able to motivate people through my artwork and to help them heal and be like, you know what, dude, whatever he's doing, I want to do that the same, but whatever I choose to do, if I want to be a mechanic and want to be the best mechanic ever, his passion is driving me through his acting to be like, I want to be that mechanic.
Got you.
So it's just a higher power. I think it's more, it started since I was little, man. I was always the center of attention. But as I got older, I just loved the presence in what I was able to give. And that was my motivation. Still is.
Ultimate giver. Giver.
Always.
Real rapid. Dramatics.
Oh.
Overall experience. How?
Oh, great. Amazing. Terrell Terrence, dope. He's doing a lot of great things now on Netflix. Wonderful man. Dope dude. Also, we had Marcus McFadden. He was also someone else who's done great things. JT, of course, everybody knows JT. JT's phenomenal. His family just, missed not senior, dope man. Great experience. I engulfed in that too, and it got to a point, man. I remember telling him, I was like, dude, I'm in all the way in. I'd show up to practice, and I was the only one there. It was me and JT. And
dance rehearsals.
Yeah, and I will be there. Yeah, and I was in it. And 110%, bad wigs and all. Because the wigs themselves were special, were pretty wild. I'm being honest. But check this out. I was having fun with it, and to me, I was really into it. But the only thing that I really felt bad for was I wasn't able to meet Ron Banks. Which is the one person that, and I cried, dude, because they hit me up and said, "Hey, he passed away." And I'm like, dang, man. I'm like, because I impersonated him. I met his daughter. Fun story. Nobody knows this story either. Here we go. Here we go. Let's just open it up. So I have, I was getting picked up from the airport. Me, JT, and I can't remember who else was with us. Greg Glass. Greg Glass. Character himself.
Yes, sir.
And I love the man. So we're getting picked up from the airport. It's from his daughter, Bianca. So Bianca comes over and she's like, hey, hi, looking just like daddy. Hey, how are you? And then, of course, I get grilled immediately, like, who's playing my daddy? And I was like, and JT looks at me and goes, here's your time. It is. And so I'm sitting and I'm like, all right, cool. So she goes, well, prove it to me that you can play my daddy. You look like him, but I want to know. Because everybody in that position, like, I can't blame her. I don't want to have my dad get played. If he's famous, I don't want my dad to, like, get done dirty.
Just have anybody.
You know what I mean? Just anybody.
Just
somebody to show up, be like, he don't even look nothing like it. But I was like, yeah, baby, how you doing, sugar? And guess where that came from? That was from my grandma.
Yeah, grandma.
I said, yeah, how you doing, baby? It's all right. Here's the thing. And so he was very light with his fingers. And if you watched, I mimicked Soul Train to a T, down to his interview. But with doing that, like, she started crying. And I was like, I took the JT. I said, I'm sorry, dude. She about to run us off the road. It was like, cause she ugly cried. And then and I get it. No, she loved it. She pulled over. She goes, I just miss my dad's voice. And I didn't expect to hear that. So
spot on.
I just need you to know I'm extremely happy that you're playing him. Just keep going. So I said, sure. And so when we did it, there was one monologue that JT was like, hey, could you do it? And I do it. Like, literally, I'm on giving the introduction to the band, to the actual dramatics. And he goes, and JT was like, dude, you memorized the whole thing. Because I would watch it religiously. I had a clip they gave us, and I'd watch it every single day. To where I mimicked down to the point of mistakes.
Oh.
And he was like, hey, man, who told you to do that? I said, he makes a mistake on this right between these words. he kind of stumbles a little bit because he's trying to catch up and he falls back. So he's like, that's crazy. And I'll never forget it. JT had told me, he was like, I compliment you. I think you really, and when he passed, he was like, I'm really sorry that you had to go through that, man, because I know you did a lot of work. Yeah. And you were there day in and day out. I remember we blew out a circuit at his house because I had brought like 4 heaters because it was cold. Yeah. And I said, we're going to get heaters. And I'm not thinking about circuits.
Not at all.
Hey, you can ask her. You can ask his mama. You can ask him and his mom. I blew out the circuit where it blacked out. And I was like, hey, listen, I was in the right place. So
my thoughts.
My thoughts. Listen, I'll help you fix it. I just wanted us to be comfortable.
Yeah.
But the dramatics, wonderful experience. Yeah. Great group of people. And that's where it all started.
Man, oh man. There's so much that we could get into, Justin, and we definitely going to have you come back.
For sure.
I'm upset that this is your first time here, but I'm not upset because it's not going to be your last time here.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I'll be back.
To all the aspiring actors and or police officers out there in the world, a couple of words for them. What you got for them?
Well, I think it goes on both sides, right? Respect everyone around you. Respect yourself. And on top of that, lead by example, not by their example.
Message.
That is just like that. Y'all know how it goes down on the patio, man. Make sure y'all tap in with each and every single sponsor that we got. Make sure y'all keep the conversation going in the comments section. Y'all know how we get down every Tuesday at the end of every month, every Thursday. That Talking Dirty After Dark. Patio.
Great
Y'all
stuff,
know how it goes down. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tune in for the next show. Justin Jones, King Mac Millie. We gonna catch y'all next time, yeah?
We don't do trends, we trendsetters.